Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anthony Tran, the current chair for the Miss Teen and Miss Asia World 2019. First, I want to welcome everyone from our panel right here, and also for the people out there watching on Facebook Live. Thank you very much for joining us. We are honored to have an incredible group of leaders to share with you about the newly rebranded organization of Miss Teen and Miss Asia World, which was formerly named Miss Teen and Miss Asian American Texas. To my right here is a PhD educator and CEO of Legacy Preparatory Charter Academy, Dr. Rebecca Good.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Dr. Rebecca Good is also have her own weekly broadcast called Ask Dr. B. Good Show, where she shared positive things happening in public education. Legacy Preparatory Academy is also the sponsor for this podcast. Thank you so much, Dr. Rebecca.
My pleasure.
Next to Dr. Rebecca is the president and publisher of Asia World Media, Alana Tran. Next to Alana is a very successful entrepreneur and business owner, Chani Salazar.
Hello.
And after Chani, we have senior manager at DFW International Airport, Shala Pillai.
Hello.
Welcome. And finally, we have the current Miss Asia World 2017 to 2019, Averie Bishop.
Happy to be here.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
This year, 2019, will mark the 21 years anniversary of the organization. After 2 decades, we wanted to place a deep focus on educational excellence to further develop future influenced women for the 21st century. This is a cultural event and diverse competition for all single women of Asian descent between the ages of 15 through 27 years old. We will have 2 crowning winners, 2 categories, Miss Teen Asia World and Miss Asia World, on August the 3rd, 2019. Miss Teen and Miss Asia World is a cultural event to be shared and celebrated within our own North Texas community. It is a competition rooted in endowing young women with Asian heritage to represent an entire Asian nation by displaying her cultural belief, ideology, academic background, and her diverse ethnic custom. We believe that cultural education is vital to a candidate's success in life, as well as her formal education, which is the acquisition of knowledge, skills, and habit. We are excited that the contestant will be selected to compete, and the winner will receive a host of prizes, gifts, and importantly, scholarship, as well as a personal and professional platform to express her thoughts, her voice, be an agent of change for the world. This time I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rebecca Good so she can moderate our podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. So, Avery, can you talk a little bit about the actual dates of these 2 events, why we have 2 events, and what are the updates to this competition?
Most definitely. Like Dr. Rebecca has stated, my name is Averie Bishop, and I'm the reigning Miss Asia World, and I'm excited to announce that our official dates for competition, for preliminary night, it is July 20th, and for the coronation evening, it is August 3rd. And on that preliminary competition, we have talent, and we have a preliminary interview. And on the final coronation evening, we have evening gown, another interview, as well as on-stage question, and my personal favorite event, the cultural attire, where the women get to represent their cultures. I am also excited to announce the changes that we have coming to this resilient organization. And we are transitioning from focusing on a beauty pageant to a scholarship competition, and this scholarship competition is going to prize 4 specific pillars, and those pillars are cultural connectedness. Is the candidate, does she represent her heritage in her local community? Can she speak her language? The second pillar is intellectual and career potential. Is she highly gifted in academics? Does she attend graduate school or university? And does she illustrate a STEM initiative? The third pillar is self-awareness. Does she show integrity, discipline, and focus? And is she resourceful? And does she think out of the box? And lastly, the fourth pillar is leadership essential traits. Does she hold positions in organizations? Has she had internships or working experiences that she can showcase during the interview process? Now, these 4 pillars is what the candidate scores will be based on throughout the pageant process. I am absolutely thrilled to represent this organization. It has been an incredible opportunity, and I'm going to be sad but more excited to crown a new representative for this organization. It has opened so many doors. I've made so many different connections that will help me run for public office one day after I graduate from law school. If there's any woman listening to this podcast right now who is slightly considering competing, I am encouraging you now to consider attending one of our Skype meetings to gain more information and to ask questions that you have about the process. Lastly, I am thrilled to introduce our reigning Miss Teen Asia World, Vanina Bulam, who will speak on her experience representing this organization as well.
Hello everybody, my name is Vanyda Boulom and I'm the reigning Miss Teen Asia American Texas, otherwise now known as the Miss Asia World pageant. I am honored today to be able to share with you my experience participating in this pageant up to my journey so far, and hopefully I will be able to encourage you to participate in the upcoming competition. Overall, this pageant has impacted me the most in the way that I view myself. Upon first participating, I was very skeptical as to how well I would do in this pageant and whether it was really worth my time commitment. And overall, after participating and after going through my journey so far, I'm here to confidently tell you that it definitely is. Before even attending the coronation night, we were offered these wonderful workshops to where I was able to develop the skills that I was really surely lacking. I was very shy, well reserved, and I didn't really like any sort of speaking, public speaking, communicating, really not my thing at all. And we had these wonderful mentors, we had these wonderful supporters, and most of all, I had candidates who were really my number one motivators in the whole journey. We were able to develop this new level of confidence that I never knew was even possible for myself. And not only that, I was also even more self-aware in my identity and my culture. Upon participating, I was able to represent my beautiful country of Laos, and so far I've attended so many events, not only within my Lao American community, but also within other cultures and also in overall my Asian American community. It's wonderful to be able to participate in these events and to be able to spread the word of the people who maybe aren't as well known or as well recognized in the community. My number one priority was being able to encourage young girls to be confident in their culture in winning my pageant. And overall, I feel like I've done a very good job. I think the most important thing that a young lady can have is the confidence to express everything that they have to the best of their abilities and to not compare themselves to anyone else at all. And upon participating, upon interacting with so many people, making new connections, networking, and also being exposed to many more cultures, I feel like I've gained a whole new level of my awareness. I've developed my identity to a much more greater extent. And I'm here to confidently tell you that participating in this pageant is one of the best choices that I've ever made. And I would highly encourage any woman, any young lady out there who is looking into this opportunity to definitely take the risk that will definitely develop them and change them for the better for the rest of your lives. So thank you for your interest in participating in this pageant, and I hope that you take this opportunity to take this journey with me.
Thank you, Vanita. Very, very well spoken. Vanita is 17 years old, although she carries herself as a young lady really much older, because if she, as she said, that this pageant has impacted her in a way that has caused her to really, she didn't say the word mature, but I'll use the word mature at a faster rate. Avery, I wanted to come back to something you said, and that was about the candidates. Can you explain a little bit about the difference between the Miss MISS and the Miss MS, please?
Yes, so we have two age categories. You can either compete as a Miss Teen or a Miss like I did. I believe the Miss Teen, the age cap is 18 years old.
15 to 17, I thought, right?
15 to 17?
Yeah, 15
it's
to 17.
15 to 17, and then Miss is 18 to 25. 27. Excuse me, maybe I shouldn't be the one telling the age categories. So again, for Miss Teen, it is 15 to 17, and then the Miss category is 18 to 27.
Thank you. So one of the things you had mentioned about making sure through the pillars that the kids were, the candidates were in graduate school, but some can be in high school.
Definitely. Oh, of course. Yes.
I just want to make sure that our high school kids didn't just turn their ears off.
Oh, no. For sure.
Thank you. So let's go on and learn a little bit about the evaluation piece on this. And Alana Tran, can you talk more about that?
Yes, well, thank you, Dr. Good. So without recapping everything that Avery have shared, what Avery has done is prepared a portfolio for you to see, and I will be reviewing that shortly with you. But what I want to do is just do a little bit of a breakdown in terms of talking about the ideologies and the concepts behind the 4 pillars. So as Avery has said, the first pillar was cultural connection. And what does that really mean? It really means a candidate, a young woman who has a very strong sense of self-identity. She has beliefs and values that's really unique to her particular ethnic group. So under the cultural pillar, and I'll scroll through this portfolio in a second, some things that Avery might be sharing and showcasing if you're building out yours would be to events over the many years that Avery has attended throughout the North Texas area for Asian American, for the good of the community. The second pillar, as Avery touched on, was intellectual career potential. And when we talk about this, it's really a broad umbrella, but what we really are narrowing down is basically speaking and communication skills. It's really important for you as a candidate to be able to articulate your thoughts, your ideas, your voice to the judge and to your peers. This is really essential. And one other thing that we're going to be looking at under that umbrella is also setting goals. Think of goals as a compass, a direction of where you are now and where you need to be. So, something that Avery could list in her portfolio under the career potential would be she's currently attending Southern Methodist University at SMU. She is showcasing almost a 4.0 GPA. She's an SMU Human Rights Fellow, as well as her recent acceptance to Stanford Law School. So now we're going to touch on pillar number 3, which is self-awareness, as Avery had alluded to. And self-awareness really is a broad scope. We're talking about a young lady that has very clear perceptions of who she is. She's very strong. She's living in the present. She's out of the box. Her ideas, she's a visionary. She problem solve, and she's just a go-getter. So depending on where you are on pillar number 3, our committee will actually assign a score for you ranging from 10 to 50 points. And I'll show the Rubik scoring system in a second, but I wanted to make sure we touch on the 4 pillars first. Now, last pillars, as we had discussed, was servant leadership. What does that really mean? It really means that a young lady is holding something in trust for the betterment of humanity, for society. Really what you're doing is you're building communities, and we are a strong supporter of that. And in this example, what Avery could do is list that she's really the co-founder of the Too Long Foundation. So to recap, here what we have done is prepared a basically Rubik scoring system. I hope you can see that. It is the 4 pillar here as shown. You have a minimum score of 10 to a maximum score of basically 50 points. So essentially what it is, minimum is going to be 40, maximum basically 200. And I know with the quality of candidates that we had for 2017 and 2019, I am certain that our scoring range is going to be closer to the 200 points. Now, lastly, you might ask, why did we evolve? Why did we come up with the 4 pillars? And all I can say is that our organization, we feel so strongly about a candidate and your ability to live a really meaningful life. And what does that mean? There are essential core personality traits that we believe in, that you can think of the 4 pillars as progression points or a journey on a life that you are going to design. And lastly, my time is running out, but I just want to make very quickly that as you're building out your portfolio, it's going to help you tremendously from your application to college, graduate school, medical school, law school, and a host of other professional school that you might apply to. And then what we're going to do here is very quickly, I'm going to show you, this is Avery portfolio, and I've just kind of earmarked some pictures here for you. Here she is working with the Toulon Foundation, which she is the co-founder. And then, of course, here, well, I can't show because her ID's on there, but this is Stanford Law School acceptance letter, which we are so proud of. And here also is basically a scoring, and basically you can see that her GPA is essentially a 3.9, which is phenomenal as she is nearing graduation. So that's what I have in terms of my portion.
Thank you, Alana. And so just to recap, the candidates who apply need to put together a portfolio based on the 4 rubrics, and within each of the sections they will place artifacts that represent them taking part or doing those traits in each of those 4 pillars. Is that right?
That's exactly correct. We are hoping that you'll focus on those 4 pillars that we feel are very important as growth as you go through the journey.
So the nice thing about this portfolio is, as you said, they can use this as a starting point to continue adding to it after they are in the competition to showcase themselves in future opportunities, whether it's graduate school, college, or jobs.
Absolutely. Our organization, we are all about growth orientation. So you are never going to stop and to stagnate at any point in time. As you grow and learn and acquire new skill set, this is just going to follow you.
Thank you. Our next person to talk is going to talk to us about the actual logistics around the competition. So, Shala, Pilar?
Thank you, Dr. Good. For those of you that are interested in applying, our application can be found on our website, which is coming soon. So in the meantime, I would encourage you to send us an email at aabroadcast17@gmail.com. So that's aabroadcast17@gmail.com.
Actually, 7.
Oh, 7. I'm sorry.
So we'll put that link in the
We'll
post.
make sure
Yes.
we'll
Yes.
update it. My apologies. I'm still in
No worries.
2017.
Thank you, Shala.
So, a few reminders. The deadline to submit the application for the candidates is February 22nd, along with your application fee and your portfolio. The application fee is $250. It's non-refundable. However, if you are not chosen, and this is unprecedented, we will refund a portion of the application fee back to you. The other couple of things, if I may go into, Dr. Good, is that the expectations for the candidates that are selected from February to June, we will have a lot of activities, and we ask the candidates to participate in these activities. So please keep in mind that the pageant requires the same amount of commitment as any other extracurricular activities you may be currently partaking in. We understand that there's a lot happening in your world: school, after-school activities, work. Being a part of Miss and Miss Asia World is another way to enhance your resume. So a few highlights of what's going to happen in through February through June, is that we are going to have targeted activities, rehearsals, and again, after you submit your application and you're approved, you will get all that information. So we're going to look at training for leadership and communication skills. We are going to look at developing poise, self-discipline training, of course, dancing and choreography, because we do want you to have a little bit of fun while you're with us, and we're going to have a photo shoot, and lastly, you will get to show your talent. Isn't that fantastic? So all Asian cultures are welcome to participate in the pageant. Naturally, we all have our cultures and we want to preserve them. However, with Miss and Miss Asia World, let's share and educate each other, bringing the community together, appreciating each other's uniqueness, embracing diversity, and celebrating unity. We hope to see you soon. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, it's aabroadcast7@gmail.com, or better yet, go on our Facebook, and it's MAATX Pageant.
Shala, can you talk a little bit about what Asian cultures are invited to this pageant?
All Asian cultures are invited. And I want to say that all. So we're looking at from India, Pakistan, Japanese, Taiwanese, help me out here. There's so many. Philippines. Yes, how did I miss you? Vietnam, Thai,
Laos.
everyone. So we all have our silos, and I think this is a fantastic platform to bring them all together, to embrace that we are really one, and a great way to educate each other about each other's culture.
Yes, I like the cultural connectedness pillar because in many cases, some of our families have been in the United States so long that this does help reconnect them. And I think it brings enrichment to the family. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right. Chani, do you want to talk a little bit about our sponsorship opportunities and so forth?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. As the new board of director for the sponsorship director position, I want to cover 4 points that I feel that's very important to our organization as well as to these young ladies that are going to be competing for the competition. So the 4 points that I want to cover is why be a sponsor. We want everybody to get involved, from individual sponsorship, organizations, companies. It doesn't have to be a corporation as big as an American Airlines. We would love to have one of them come on board, but it doesn't matter. We appreciate all levels of sponsorships. And then the services that we do need that I feel that are very, very important during this whole process are going to be sponsors such as hairstylists, makeup artists, photographer, videographer, and then, of course, skincare, dress shops, you name it, anything that is going to help these young ladies, because being a part of a competition of any type, especially in a pageant, requires them to invest not only their time, but money to buy the perfect dress, to buy the perfect shoes, things like that. And of course, being that there's a cultural part of it, we would love for some of those cultural dress shops to get involved, because these young ladies are going to be coming to you to buy an outfit or maybe rent an outfit. Being a sponsor to them, if you would love for them to represent your that particular dress shop, that is only going to give you the exposure that you have been wanting. This is a very high level pageant here in the Metroplex, so I think it's really important to think about that. And then throughout the process prior to our event, to the evening, Shala had covered the events that we're going to have, and these events are going to require the girls to have rehearsals, and there are going to be times where they're going to need snacks and waters and things like that. So we want parents to get involved. We want grocery stores. We want convenience stores. We want all sorts of places that are going to provide water, snacks, goodie bags for these young ladies throughout the evening when they are attending these sessions prior to the 2 main events. And then the last thing that I wanted to also cover is, what are the levels of sponsorships that we have available? The different levels and benefits of the sponsorships, there are actually 5. We've got the platinum sponsorship, which you'll be the main headline of the sponsor of the event. The gold sponsor is the official sponsor of the Miss Teen and Miss Asia World. The silver sponsor is a sponsorship for one contestant, an award winner of the Miss Teen and Miss Asia World. The bronze sponsorship is for the contestant of Miss Teen and Miss Asia World. And then we also have what is also a very unique part of the sponsorship is the gifts and the in-kind sponsorships, and as well as media and press. Those types of sponsorship is really important. Again, it goes right back to hairstylists donating their time, makeup artists, dress shops, and things like that are going to really help these young ladies. And then how do you get a hold of us? Well, to get a hold of us, we have many avenues of getting a hold of us. You can find us on Facebook at MAATX Pageant, or at on Instagram at MS Asia World page. And then if you want to also email us, you can email us at aabroadcast7@gmail.com, or you can write us over at 902 St. Paul Drive in Richardson, Texas, 75080. And the contact person would be Mr. Anthony Tran. And I think I've covered everything.
So I think most people don't understand, sponsors don't understand that when we say to them that we can get them exposure, we're not only exposing them to possibly 300 or 400 people during the semi event, up to 1,000 people for the main event, but then thousands of people who are represented through each of the communities. So it's thousands of Pakistani, thousands of Indian people, thousands. So it's multiple opportunities to get their product or their service in front of lots of people. And I heard you say that we would love to have sponsorships of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, but if you are not in that range to give, that if you want to donate water for one of the rehearsals, we'd love to have it. If you have snacks for our girls during the choreography sessions, you know, they wind up hungry. So anything you want to do to get your name in front of this large group, it's appreciated. Okay. Well, we're winding up and coming to an end to this podcast. The information, I think, has been very valuable. And Anthony, you want to close us?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Good. I want to extend my appreciation to all the board of directors, the volunteer, the committee, and all of North Texas community to make the competition possible and a great success. We're looking forward to continue our partnership with current and future sponsor to honor the tradition and mission of the organization. Together, we can ensure that young Asian American women has a platform to express their voice and be an agent of change for the world. For further information or updates for our meet and greet, either in person or in Skype, remember to log into facebook.com/MAATX pageant or Instagram page.com/MS Asia World. Appreciate everybody tuning in to us today. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.